Have you ever thought about starting your own Pokemon card business? Maybe you've seen some people opening packs online, selling cards, getting distribution, and thought to yourself, man, that looks like fun. I would love to do that. But today, I want to talk about some of the things you might not see behind the scenes. The mistakes, the lessons, the things, honestly, I wish I fully understood before I started. But before we dive too far into this, hi, my name's John. I'm the owner of Jed's Card Shop. We're an online TCG and hobby business, and we are documenting the journey from the ground up. And today I want to talk about 3 things I wish I knew before starting a Pokemon card business. So let's dive right into this. So for the very first thing, products are important, but the community has to come first. Because when I first started, my thought process was a little too simple. I want to sell Pokemon cards. So obviously, the right thing to do is I need Pokemon products. And that's exactly what I did. I bought a lot of inventory right out of the gate, especially on the Japanese market, because that's what I had the most access to. And honestly, it kind of bit me in the butt. Because right around that time, that's when everything was happening in Japan. The market started shifting, margins went crazy, and all the prices started to change. And I realized something really quick. Having product and having people to sell that product to are 2 totally different things. So I had thousands of dollars sitting in booster boxes and collections, but I didn't have a community. And yes, I could sell on TCG Player, eBay, Facebook Marketplace, and all of those were great tools, and honestly, I ended up going that route. But at that point, I was just moving product, and there's nothing wrong with that. If that's your goal, go for it. But my goal was a lot different. I didn't want to just flip Pokemon cards. I wanted to build a brand. I wanted to build a hobby space, and I wanted customers who actually knew who we were. So looking back now, I wish I would have slowed down a little bit and spent more time building the community before the inventory. And that's why before you ask anybody what you should buy when starting a business, you should probably ask, who am I building this for? Now, point number 2, you're going to need thick skin. Because the second thing that did not take no time to realize, if you decide to put yourself out there, you're going to have thick skin. And I've watched a lot of creators talk about this. Brian from Poke has talked about this. Actually, DJ brought it up a little earlier, and other creators talk about this from time to time. And what you normally hear is, at first, people are going to love you. But once you start becoming successful, people will hate you. And honestly, from my experience, it can start a lot sooner than that. Now, let me be clear. There are incredible people in this hobby. People who will support you, encourage you, and genuinely want to see you do better and succeed. But if you're making content and trying to build a brand and putting yourself out there, you're also going to deal with a lot of criticism. And in my case, from the very beginning, I've been called a scalper, a hype chaser, a scammer, you name it. And here's what I've learned. You can't take it personal. Sometimes you'll actually find useful feedback hidden inside criticism. Like someone recently on my Instagram, they were joking with me and asked me if I recorded a video on a Nintendo DS. And honestly, I looked at the quality of the video and I thought for a second, you know what? This guy actually has a point. But that pushes you to improve. Now, if someone just comes at you just trying to be negative, I handle that differently, but I handle it the same way every time. Because you have to remain professional. You can't take it personal, and you got to remember you're representing your brand. So I normally say something along the lines of, hey, I appreciate your feedback. Sorry you feel that way. And sometimes I'll provide a little context. Like I had a guy call me a scammer very recently, when the reality of it is I have several hundred customers who've bought from me, had their orders shipped to them, no problems, and they actually support what I'm building. But at the end of the day, I still thank the person for watching the video, because arguing online is not building anything for me. I know some people like getting into it, but for me, I stay away from it. And every comment, good or bad, still means someone took the time out of their day to interact with your content. So always remember, there's a bigger picture. And remember what you're building. Remember your brand. And that's going to lead into the third point. Build your brand, not just for sales. And this is going to be the final point today, because branding, this is probably the biggest thing I wish I had focused on earlier in this. Because when I first started, I went to what was comfortable. I didn't like posting videos regularly. I didn't really want to do it that much. I've actually come to enjoy it now, but at the time I didn't. So I went straight to TCG Player. And let me say this, I'm extremely thankful for TCG Player. I have met a lot of great customers. I have learned a tremendous amount, and it gave me an opportunity to test products and understand the market a little bit better. But here's the reality. When someone buys from you on TCG Player, a lot of times they bought from you because at that moment in time, you had the cheapest priced, and they were using the platform. But I wanted something different. I wanted to build Jed's Card Shop. I wanted to build a community. I wanted to be a place where people could come because they trusted us. And another challenge is that selling on a marketplace more often than not becomes a race to the bottom. Everyone's fighting to be just a little bit cheaper. And sometimes even a penny matters. I have literally watched people on booster boxes go from 98 to 97 to 96 just so they pop up first. Now, I'm not leaving TCG Player completely. I still enjoy singles, and I think it's an amazing platform for certain sellers. But for what I want to build long term, I need to focus more on my own website. And honestly, that mistake, that falls on me. I got in a comfort zone because I knew if I listed on TCG Player, I was going to be able to move the product. It was a guaranteed. Well, not a guaranteed, but I had hype products, and let's face it, if you charge low enough, you're going to move it fast. But I wasn't putting enough attention to building my own foundation. And at times, I had people visiting my website, seeing products out of stock because everything was moving on TCG Player. And that is not a great experience. If someone takes the time to visit your website and everything's unavailable, guess what? They're probably not coming back. And that was a lesson I had to learn the hard way. Now, guys, I want to be transparent here. Keep this in mind. I've ran several businesses before, but this is my first Pokemon card business. So I'm not sitting here telling you there is only one way to do this. And I'm not telling you to follow any of the path that I've done. I'm just sharing my experience and looking back. If I changed these three things, my journey would probably be further along. It'd look a lot different today. So hopefully this helps, especially if you're thinking about starting your own business. Now, if you enjoy this kind of content, please consider liking and subscribing. Like I said at the beginning, we're documenting this journey from the ground up. And if you need any hobby supplies, please feel free to check out our website. Every visitor helps us get one step closer to what we're trying to build here. But I'll catch you in the next video. Goodbye for now.